animals, you should meet Lewis. So I went to the Natural History Museum in Nairobi, and he asked me zillions of questions. And I followed my mother's advice. I'd gone on learning about animals in Africa, so I could answer many of his questions. And although I hadn't gone with an idea of getting a job, far from it, I left having been offered the opportunity to be his secretary assistant. Wow! Again, my mother, she was the one who suggested I should do secretarial. So that led to me going on an expedition which still, over all these years looking back, is one of the most magical experiences of my life, because it was to the now famous Olduvai Gorge on the Serengeti Plains, where many fossils of early man have been found. But when I went with one other young English girl, Louis Leakey and his wife, no human remains have been found, only the fossils of various Stone Age animals like saber-toothed tigers. I just saw a model of one outside your museum here. And so during the 3 months that we were there, with an expedition on a shoestring, with very little money for it, I think the most people, human people we saw, were 3 or 4 Maasai Marani. Otherwise, it was remote. It was the Africa of my dreams, and all the animals were there then. There was not only the antelopes, the giraffe and so forth, but rhinos and lions. And sometimes Gillian and I, the other young girl, we met these animals when we were allowed to walk out on the plains after our day's hard work. And I think it was after we had met a young male lion who followed us for at least the length of this auditorium, which was a bit scary, but very exciting. And I think it was that evening around the campfire that Louis Leakey decided I was the person he'd been searching for. He says for years, to go and learn about the behavior of our closest living relative, the chimpanzees. I went to Africa because I wanted to live with animals and write books about them. That was my dream. I wouldn't have aspired to a chimpanzee. They were exotic. We didn't know anything about them. But here I was, no university degree, straight out from England, being offered by this magical man the opportunity to go and learn about our closest living relatives. How amazing was that? It took